Have you ever wondered if your sense of I is real or just a beautiful illusion? We point to our bodies, our thoughts, our memories and say, this is me. But what if this me is just a character we play? This question is ancient. Our joys, sorrows, hopes and fears feel so personal. Yet, are you the wave or the ocean? Maybe our individual selves are temporary forms of something vaster. What if the I we cherish is just a fleeting pattern? Question your assumptions about who you are. Consider that you might be far more than you imagine. To realize you are not just the wave, but the ocean itself. Are you ready to look deeper? Let's begin. Ancient wisdom traditions have explored the nature of self for millennia. Buddhism teaches anattā, no permanent self, just a flow of changing processes. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, always moving, never the same. Clinging to a fixed self is the root of suffering. Hinduism's Advaita Vedanta says our true self, Atman, is identical with Brahman, the universal consciousness. The ego, the sense of I am this body, is Maya, an illusion. Awakening is realizing your true nature is infinite awareness. Tat Tavam Asi, you are that. Taoism speaks of the Tao, the unnameable source of all things. The wise let go of rigid ideas of self, becoming like water, yielding yet powerful. The ego blocks the natural flow. By emptying the self, one becomes full. Hermeticism echoes this, the all is mind, the universe is mental. Our individual minds are facets of a greater, universal mind. The real you is not confined to your skin or your personal history. It is pure, unconditioned awareness, ever present. These aren't just old philosophies, they're maps to understanding who you truly are. The sense of a separate self is a limited perspective within vast consciousness. By losing the self, one finds the true self, one with everything. The invitation is to see beyond the illusion, to realize you are not just a person, but pure awareness itself. This is the heart of the world's deepest wisdom. Are you ready to see with new eyes? Let's continue. What is the ego and how is it different from the soul or true self? Imagine playing a video game. The ego is your character, with a name, story, and skills. You control this character, feel its victories and defeats, and often forget you're the player outside the game. The ego is necessary to navigate life, but it's just a role. The soul or true self is the player, the awareness behind the character. The player isn't limited by the character's story, it knows it's a game. The soul is timeless, the silent witness from which the ego arises and dissolves. The ego is a tool not inherently bad but a means to experience life. Problems arise when we mistake the tool for the user, when the character forgets it's a character. The ego clings to its story, possessions, and identity, creating suffering. The key isn't to destroy the ego, but to realize you are not only the character, you are the player. This realization brings freedom. You can play the game with more lightness and joy. The game continues, but you're no longer lost in it. You are the awareness experiencing the game. The ego's drama is not the ultimate reality. Understanding this difference is transformative. You are not the fleeting story, but the consciousness behind it. The soul is the source. The ego is the expression. Play your role, but remember who you truly are. This is the grand game of existence. Are you ready to play with new awareness? The journey deepens. Let's move forward. The cosmic play awaits. And you are both actor and audience. The Kybalion states, the all is mind, the universe is mental. Reality isn't fundamentally material, it's a manifestation of consciousness. Like a dream, the world feels real, but it's a projection of mind. What if waking reality is a shared dream, projected by a universal mind? Our minds are facets of this one mind, each with a unique perspective. The world is real to us, but its substance is consciousness itself. The physical world is an appearance within a vast field of awareness. If the universe is mental, we are not insignificant. We are integral parts of the mind, dreaming the universe. Our thoughts and consciousness are woven into the fabric of reality. Our inner world is connected to the source of creation. The self is a projection, a focal point of awareness within the larger mind, a temporary pattern, a ripple in the ocean of consciousness. Realizing this is liberating. We are not trapped by our circumstances or past. We are co-creators of this mental universe. The illusion of separateness dissolves. We are the dreamers and the dream. Sometimes people glimpse beyond ordinary consciousness, like in near-death experiences. Many report losing their individual identity, dissolving into a vast, loving awareness. There's no separation, just boundless, interconnected existence. Dr. Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon, described his NDE as merging with a vast array of consciousness. He realized the brain filters, not creates consciousness. These experiences challenge our conventional sense of self. If the I can dissolve, what does that say about its reality? The ego is a temporary construct, a mode of operation. When consciousness is freed from the body, a vaster awareness remains. This awareness is not limited by personal identity. The feeling is often one of peace, a sense of coming home. The fear of death vanishes, as the individual I is seen as illusory. There's a realization of being part of something eternal. These accounts point to a universal truth. Our true nature is not the small, isolated self. It is something far more expansive, connected to all that is. The boundaries of self dissolve. What remains is unity. Modern neuroscience echoes ancient wisdom. What we perceive as reality is a construction. Our senses decode raw data, and the brain creates a model of the world. This model is our experience, but it's not reality itself. Think of it as a user interface, icons and folders, not the actual machine. Our perceived reality is a biological interface tailored for survival. The world isn't exactly as we see it. Colors, sounds, textures are brain-generated. We live inside a personalized movie starring our own brain. The main character is our sense of I. Our perception of self is also a construction, a narrative woven from memories and sensations. This story is constantly updated, but it's still just a story. Neuroscience shows the self is not a thing, but a process, a dynamic pattern of neural activity. The self is a simulation, not a solid entity. This aligns with ancient teachings of no self. The boundaries of self are fluid, not fixed. We are processes, not things. The illusion is persistent but not permanent. Seeing through it is possible. The simulation can be seen for what it is, and freedom lies beyond the interface. If the self is an illusion, why does letting go feel so scary? The ego is our anchor, our familiar sense of I. Questioning it shakes our foundations. The ego resists dissolution, it fears annihilation. Buddhism teaches that clinging to the ego is the root of suffering. This clinging creates endless desire, aversion, and struggle. The ego is always trying to secure itself, to make the impermanent permanent. The death of the ego isn't physical, it's a shift in identification. You realize you are not the limited, fearful ego, but the awareness in which the ego appears. This realization can be terrifying, like stepping off a cliff, but then you find freedom, peace, and relief. The struggle ends. Awakening is possible now in this moment. It begins with observing the illusion, watching thoughts and emotions without judgment. As you observe, the ego loses its power. You see it as a pattern, a habit of mind. You start to disidentify from it. This is the path to freedom, the freedom of being your true self. The fear gives way to peace. The illusion loses its grip. You are not the story, but the awareness behind it. The ego's drama fades. What remains is clarity. The journey is ongoing. Each moment is a chance to awaken. The freedom is always here. Are you ready to let go? The choice is yours. If the I we cherish is not our ultimate reality, a wonderful truth emerges. If we were never truly this separate self, we can never truly die. The body and personality fade, like a wave subsiding into the ocean. But the ocean remains. Our true self is timeless. It was never born, and will never die. It is the unchanging background to all experience. The movie ends, but the light remains. This realization changes everything. The fear of death loses its grip. You were never just this body or mind. These are temporary expressions. The real you is the consciousness aware of body and mind. This awareness is not limited by time or space. It is the fabric of existence, shared with all that is. This is ultimate freedom, not the fleeting show but the timeless reality. You are not a person who has consciousness, but consciousness experiencing itself as a person. Live fully, play your role, but remember the truth of who you are. You are the undying spark, the eternal awareness. You were never born, and you will never die. You are free, the journey is yours, the truth is always here. Remember who you are,